2012. I'm here to witness a plays I've been following since 2008. The raw courage of the Greek anarchists fighting with cops captured the imagination of people around the world, including mine. In December of that year, a cop murdered Alex Grigoropoulos, a teenage boy who lived in Exarchia, a neighborhood home to a large anarchist population.
These kids were basically hanging out on a pedestrian street in Exarchia. A police patrolling car drove up to them. There was a bit of a quarrel, and the police shot Alexis in cold blood, killing him on the spot. And what followed was kind of a spontaneous call for a response to this murder. People started gathering in Exarchia, and very soon thereafter in most of central Athens, marched through the biggest part of the city, smashed up a lot of corporate and state targets, and they quickly kind of culminated in what was a full-on anti-state and anti-capital kind of a revolt.
But I didn't come here looking for riots. I wanted to find out how the Greek anarchists were organizing themselves in response to the financial crisis. I wanted to learn how neighborhoods have bypassed the state to provide services such as free meals, healthcare, and community self-defense. This task proved more challenging than I hoped. Few within the neighborhood assembly scene agreed to be videotaped or photographed, for fear of retaliation by the police, their employers, and fascists. Yes, fascists. But we'll come back to that. During my time here, posters from the competing political parties were plastered all over the city, just days prior to an election, signaling to the world that Greek democracy was still functioning.
These elections are very important because we have the chance to change the political scene. We have the chance to go left.
The graffiti and anarchist posters told a different story. They show Greece as a country that's in a state of civil war.
This is a civil war. It already feels like a civil war, but this is not a capital C civil war. It's a small cap civil. Civil as in civilized, as in covered still for the time being under this veil of civility. So you have a society that's still post-civil war. The kind of dichotomies and the kind of tensions and the antagonisms from a civil war are still here, and they're re-emerging now, but for the time being they're being covered under the civility of a country that's still just about supposed to be part of the global West and aspiring to this idea of progress, capitalist euphoria and development and so on and so forth.
Here in Greece, it's the civil war syndrome, I call it, because our parents lived in the civil war of 1944 since 1949, and they can remember and they have the fear that when a war comes, we don't have to eat.
Gelly was one of the few anarchists who agreed to appear on camera. She got involved in community organizing during the Syntagma Square occupation of May 2011. The action was inspired by the Spanish public square occupations, the same actions that inspired the North American Occupy movement.
You definitely had a lot of anarchist groups and anarchist initiatives springing up and trying to play a role not of replacing the state in any way, but actually filling a void but in a different kind of way, in a way that would no longer be hierarchical or authoritarian, in a way contributing towards people's reconceptualization of their everyday life.
We were gathering clothes and food and medicine, everything that the person needs. And it's too easy to find homeless this time in Greece.
Got a bum education, double-digit inflation, can't take the train to the job, there's a strike at the station.
After the occupation was evicted by cops, these groups continued and some morphed into neighborhood assemblies, focusing their energy in their localities. Others, like Gelly, chose to help those who have migrated here from faraway lands in search for a better life.
The situation is awful for the immigrants. If they have a house, in a very, very, very small house, 10 or 15 people, sometimes they don't have to eat. The most of them live in the streets. The government signed the Dublin II, so nobody can leave the country, Greece.
Dublin II is an agreement between European Union members that states that an undocumented immigrant found in any EU country will be returned to the country where the person entered. This essentially transforms Greece into a migration dam, since most of the undocumented immigrants that come to Europe enter through here. Aid to migrants in Greece is virtually non-existent, and people are going hungry. This is the second time that Gelly's group delivers food to a community of Kurdish immigrants outside of Athens. The Kurds are a people without a state, whose homelands are in Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. Some of the people I met were escaping political repression due to their affiliation to the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, an armed rebel group fighting for autonomy within the Turkish territory.
We don't care about their political beliefs. Kurds never had the country on their own, and the most of the people who are 30 or 35 years lived and were born in a war. They don't know the peace.
Even though the situation in Greece has not officially been called a civil